Right. Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
This is Anthony.
This is Matt.
This is Jeff.
And today we are going to be going through every single vampire in Magic the Gathering. This is inspired by the YouTube channel ZorakGoesOn. This is not meant to steal any of their thunder. This is sort of an homage saying, hey, you know, they've normally done stuff that was, what, like 30, 40 creatures, something like that?
Yeah, they've done, I mean, the video I saw with the trolls was pretty manageable.
It was like 45. Vampires is a 150 plus. Without any further ado, let's bring up our first vampire. We've got Abolisher of the
Bloodline. Now, it's important to note that this is the transformed state. I forget what the other card is. We're gonna see later.
Pariah. The other one is Voldaren Pariah.
We're gonna rate each even faces on its own merit. So like this card will come up twice, but we're gonna rate each side as its own vampire.
Right. So we've got a 6/5 flying Eldrazi vampire. And when this creature transforms into Abolisher of Bloodlines, target opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. I mean, it's our first vampire, so it is the best vampire we've seen so far.
Best vampire we've seen all night. Abolisher.
Jeff, would you not agree? This is the best vampire we've looked at.
As a disclaimer, I know nothing about Magic.
And that's why we've brought him on, folks, because he is going in without any real knowledge of the game, so he's going off of just a more sort of base understanding of what a vampire is, whereas myself and Matt, you've played Magic for longer than I have, though, right?
I started like around Time Spiral, and then like it just on and off, dropped in and dropped out. Really picked it up again though with well, we went to that pre-release for Fate Reforged. That kind of was like a big
and that reignited
surge.
it.
Yeah.
See, I full on started with Theros, so I'm a scrub. But we've got Abolisher of Bloodlines. On to the next.
Abolisher of Bloodlines. So far, so good.
Is it a girl or a guy?
Anawan, the
Ruined Sage. Oh, he ruined me.
He's a 4/3 for 5 legendary vampire shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player sacrifices a non-vampire creature.
So definitely part of the vampire clan, and that if you're running all vampires, he's on your side and he will, you know, wreck any non-vampires.
I will say it. I think this is a better vampire than Abolisher of Bloodlines.
I think it straight up is, and not only that, but the other one's more of like a monster. This guy is like
that's a bad
white-skinned, menacing looking, but not like a monster.
And my personal favorite thing is the flavor text on this. So it says each player sacrifices a non-vampire. So literally on your opponent's turn, he goes over and eats somebody that's not a vampire. The new champ. All right, next. On to the next.
All right, we're gonna keep this moving.
Arrogant. Oh, this
Arrogant
is
Bloodlord.
This bastard, he's so freaking arrogant.
He's a 4/4 for 3 Vampire Knight. When Arrogant Bloodlord blocks or becomes blocked by a creature with power 1 or less, destroy Arrogant Bloodlord at the end of combat.
Oh my god, he a bitch.
Yeah, well, like
he's like I'm so awesome. Oh my god, a 1/1.
So
see, that's not how I interpreted it initially, but I like that more. I like that more.
He's like wrecking phase with like a 2/2, a 3/3, just destroys him. Can trade.
So you're trying to tell me that this 4/4 can die or just give up to a 1/1?
It's like what I thought of it when I read that was, you know, he was like, this is not worth my time to face this meager opponent. He just kind of like leaves.
Is he on an ant? Is that an ant?
Yeah,
he looks like. Oh my god, he's riding an ant.
I think
this is the least vampire thing we've seen.
I'm gonna say this is probably the worst vampire we've seen because, like, what self-respecting vampire rides an ant?
He just looks like a dude.
It is a fire ant because it is red. I think.
It's
Honey,
it's
I shrank the vampire.
Yeah, that's the question. Is this an exceptionally large ant or an exceptionally tiny vampire?
I want to go with an exceptionally tiny vampire if he's giving up to a 1/1.
But he's also a 4/4, so is he like Ant-Man? Like,
yes, I'm gonna say he's the Ant-Man of vampires. He's Vamp Man.
I'm okay.
I'm gonna call it right now. I think Arrogant Bloodlord is gonna be on the bottom of the list
for a while.
If not for a long time, probably the entire video.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Arrogant Vampire.
Wait,
he's the other one was Bloodlord. So this is a 4/3 for 5 with flying. Okay, so one of my personal like key things for vampires.
I know where you're going with this.
Vampires should fly.
Yes, I agree.
Vampires should fly. They should have lifelink. Is it better
simply because he has flying? Because he has nothing else from what I'm seeing.
He's got flying, and he doesn't bitch out when he fights tiny things.
Okay.
He's definitely better than Arrogant Bloodlord, but
Is he better than
himself,
Abolisher of
he himself,
Bloodlines?
he looks like he's kind of a bitch too. He's a 4/3 flyer, but he's like he's 5.
But like you can see like the silhouette of the vamp behind him.
Yeah, but I know better, 4/3 flyers than 5 costs.
But
He's
are
kind of
they
like
vampires?
he's like I'm good, but you can't afford me. And he's just like he looks like such a bitch.
All right, but like
so I would say I would put him between Abolisher and Arrogant.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
I
Or do you
think I can live with that because he's definitely not better than Anawan the Ruin Sage, who just like walks up to your opponent's house, chomps a dude, and walks away.
Oh,
Alright,
spoilers.
Ascendant and Vicar.
Now
It
that
is-
does not
I've
look like
seen this card.
he does not look like a vampire straight
He
off.
doesn't.
All right,
He looks like
this is a 3/3 for 6 with flying, and other black creatures get +1/+1, and non-black creatures get -1/-1. This dude looks like an orc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all jacked and stuff. He's like you wouldn't even if you didn't have. Okay, you guys online can't see this, but I'm putting my finger over the vampire tag. But like, if you didn't know that he was a vampire, you wouldn't know that he's a vampire.
No, he's like a troll or
You
an
mean
orc
if
or
it didn't
something.
say he was a vampire?
In fact,
Yeah.
I don't even know why he has flying. He looks way too heavy to fly. Just saying.
Like this dude, like again with vampires, vampires I don't think are necessarily supposed to be like totally yacked.
I'm thinking of like Nosferatu when I think of vampires.
When I think vampire, I think slender more than jacked.
But not even like
Like
waifly.
supernatural strength. Like
I say more
fit.
Yeah, like definitely like they got like some muscle on them, but
it
they're
shouldn't be like a stick.
like his entire arm shouldn't be the size of my chest. No, I want to say
The question is how low do we put him on the list?
I want to say this guy's even lower than Arrogant Bloodlord
Well-
because
Okay, well, I'm going to
Actually, no, he's
incite the fact that this guy does have flying,
okay, yeah, that's
and
good.
he also buffs your black creatures and debuffs
They're non-blacks.
the non-black creatures, which is very vampiric.
Yeah, like you're part of the clan. You're
He's
part
doing
of,
vampire-like things, even though he doesn't look. He's like the He's like the troll of the vampires. Like no one wants
He's
to be his
literally
friend.
the troll of the vampires.
He's a vampire technically, but like no one wants to hang
I
out
would
with
say
him.
that effect vampire wise he fits. Look vampire wise he doesn't.
Well, we have to consider the whole package.
I
right.
think he is
I say he's
better than Arrogant Bloodlord, but only just.
I think I can tolerate that.
I'm gonna say yeah, he's definitely
Okay.
better than Bloodlord, maybe equal to arrogant vampire.
Yeah. Like this guy is cocky, whereas Arrogant Vampire is
Can we
arrogant.
just bring arrogant Bloodlord to number 40?
Well, we got to be fair. We got to be scientific about this, gentlemen. We are in the lab.
I'm just not sure. Okay, this.
Is the
There
lab
we
a
go.
kitchen?
Okay.
Asylum visitor. I like this.
All right, straight up just vampire wizard. So we're got a little hybrid going on here.
Okay, you can be a vampire wizard. So we have a vampire wizard. It is a 3/1 for 2. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and you lose a life.
I run this card. So I might be a little bit biased. First of all, she totally looks like a vampire.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
this is almost like the most vampire looking card that we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Just on looks alone. Secondly, she's fucking like draining the brain out of this poor woman.
I mean,
I don't know what that is. Maybe she's stealing
I
cards.
would
from
prefer
her
it to be blood draining.
Actually, if
I know, but I don't
you
think
two
any-
may not know, but I remember that actually reminds me of black
The Dementors.
Dementors, right? They just get close enough to you, they start siphoning.
But
your
that would be
face
more like a
off.
demon. That would be more like a okay.
She's
but-
still doing the same thing.
This girl looks like a Fran.
It looks like Richard Simmons.
right, but okay. Let's see here.
It's at least better than Arrogant Vampire.
All right. I can get down with that because arrogant vampire just kind of looked like a dude standing around.
He's
not
just a
doing
dude.
much.
He's just like I'm a vampire, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, he's like a really
He's like-
really moody vampire,
he
like
was the-
modern day.
He was like a princess.
So is this guy better? Is she better than Abolisher of Bloodlines? I say yes.
He's at least like a vampire, you know, the arrogant vampire. I mean, like nobody likes him, but he is a vampire. But nobody likes Evan Carr.
Yeah, nobody likes a
No
vampire.
one likes Evan.
No one likes Evan.
All right, but we're gonna put her above arrogant vampire because she's earned her place. I think.
All right.
I almost want to put her above Abolisher of
I
Bloodlines.
do want to put her above Abolisher of Bloodlines. I do want that.
you are
the
being,
weird,
I think
the
you're-
weird, the creature lady.
Yeah,
right?
the
That's
one like
not- that's-
she had a goat head.
Okay.
All right. It's 2 against 1, so yeah.
All right, we have Balustrade Spy. For 3 and a black, you get a 2/3 flyer. And when Balustrade Spy enters the battlefield, target player reveals cards from the top of his/her library until she reveals a land, then puts those cards into his or her graveyard.
Effect-wise, first off, it's not even on color. It's like a blue thing.
It is a blue thing, but you know,
I mean, it's not completely off color, but it's
yeah, because
not...
black and blue mill. I used to have a black blue mill.
Yeah,
deck.
black blue mill, but...
But here's the thing, the artwork is strong. This is some strong ass artwork.
The artwork is strong with this one. Yeah,
it does look Star Wars.
He's fucking flying, and he has flying.
Right, but like you also have to remember, like vampires aren't necessarily like. I enjoy sort of the more like savage, feral kind. Like again, we'll find on Zendikar when we look at like Zendikar.
Classy vampire.
This is a classy, like super slicked out vampire. I like this guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the cut of his jeb.
I'm gonna say he's 4th, above Vampire, Emrakar, and Bloodlord. I say just.
All right. Well, okay. So we know he's better than Bloodlord. We know he's better than Vinker. Better than Arrogant Vampire? I think so. Because this looks kind of like Arrogant Vampire, but again, he's like...
male version.
But he's doing vampire things. Like, he's peering in your window.
Maybe it was the other guy's day off. Maybe he was just posing for a portrait.
Honestly, if it was artwork alone... And like how... This is the most vampire-y thing that we've seen.
But then there's another thing. He's a spy. How come someone got him in picture?
He's also a rogue.
Okay, you know how we wanted to put a Silent Visitor at the top? But like Anawan just was like too flavorful.
It's got flavor.
Beat her out on flavor. Well, he beats them both out on looking like a goddamn vampire. So that puts him in the top.
But you think the milling detracts from that?
I think the milling detracts from it. He loses points for effect. So I would put him.
That's a strong argument.
I would put him just below a Silent Visitor.
So Balustrade Spy, I'm not thrilled with this, but the general consensus seems to be below Asylum Visitor, but above Abolisher of Bloodlines. Baron Sengir!
Shit, I didn't mean to view source.
What?
He's an 8-drop that gives you a 5/5 flyer, and whenever a creature is put into the graveyard the same turn that Baron Sengir damaged it, put a +2/+2 counter on Baron Sengir.
Wacky!
And you can tap him to regenerate him.
Regenerate target vampire.
Oh, just regenerate target vampire. Okay, so it could be him.
I mean, that's kind of flavorful. That's kind of like, because,
like he's giving his
blood to another vampire to regenerate it. If he sucks your blood, he becomes stronger. That's pretty goddamn vampiric. He looks like a vampire, although he looks kind of Asian too.
Yeah,
I mean, there can be Asian vampires. Let's not be racist.
Totally. But, that's not like part of the lore.
His hand looks like a skull more than an actual hand, like a skeleton hand.
He looks like he has a skeleton.
He got really skinny ass fingers.
He's got some strange garb. He's up there for flavor and for appearance.
I'm gonna say I would shoot him straight to the 2 spot.
I think I would give it to him for the flavor and the effects.
The only thing that would probably make it better is if his garb was like a little bit better.
I would say
But here's the question now: is he better than Anawan Ruin Sage?
No, because Anawan just says you're not a vampire, you die. This guy is like the more
yeah, but the thing is, Anawan kills. When I think of Anawan's effect, right? You know how whenever you see an effect, you think of like, okay, what would be like the realization of this effect?
Yes,
what is this representing?
What would this look like?
What would this look like? Yeah, Anawan is he's like a tribal leader, right? Where like, if you're not in the vampire tribe, you're going to be sacrificed to the vampire tribe. That's what I picture.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, on your opponent's turn, he walks over and he
sacrifices one of your
It's like, if you won't join me, you'll die.
Which isn't like, that's like, again, like more tribally vampire, but this is like the lore of the vampire. They suck your blood and they fly.
Are we putting Baron Sengir as the best vampire?
For the time being. I know of some other ones that are going to fucking shoot right above this one.
I'm
You're considering it?
I'm considering this.
I still say he's not. I think vampires are more so if you're not me, you die, because they're turning people into vampires. And if they don't let you turn them into vampires...
There are actually, you're going to see, there's actually some vampires that totally do that. They're going to shoot above him.
No, I understand that, but that's then. I'm saying right now,
yeah.
I still think Anawan wins. Because if you're not going to allow him to turn you into one, he's going to kill you. This one just says, okay, well, I don't care what you do. You're going to die, because apparently, by what I'm saying, I get stronger from it, and then I can resurrect a vampire.
Jeff?
I think
I'm not.
I think it's a 2-1. I think we're gonna have.
I'm putting Baron Sengir at number 1. Baron Sengir is the best vampire. The champ is here.
And he's a baron.
Now it's a barony vampire.
Alright.
Barony vampire.
Barony vampire. It is
Okay.
a 3/2 for 3.
No effect.
And that's it. It is a vanilla 3/2 for 3.
If I may, the flavor text. Poor little sun dweller out past curfew, and to think you might have survived if it wasn't so close to supper time. God damn, that's vampiric.
That's some flavor, because
That's-
like it's not only I'm gonna eat you, but I'm gonna make you feel bad about me eating
You
you.
poor little human. You are now my supper.
But she's just wearing a cloth and a cape.
yeah, she's
Like she got the
the garb is like I give it like
Is
a
that
half
a weapon?
point.
Do we see weapons? Vampires don't use weapons.
I think
For me,
this,
she's at least half.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to say
s-
this is like probably a good like baseline vampire. Like this is
the vampire by which we rate other vampires.
This is like a C plus. Like if you beat the kid who got like a C plus and you got like a B or a B plus on an exam, you can feel good about yourself. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the kid
that
who like
kid.
constantly performed well.
Picks his nose in class.
Not even that, but like he was a good student, but he was never exceptional. You feel me? I think that's what barony vampire is.
So
I want to say above
She
abolisher, but below balustrade. Because
Alright.
again,
So
she
you're
doesn't
saying-
fly.
Abolisher was the one the one
crazy
that you
goat
the
one.
goat. You really just don't like that.
I don't. I really
Dude,
don't.
you're really holding that
you have
goat.
You have a
Yeah.
hate boner
I was
for
like,
that card.
see, the thing now he's being biased toward the goat
It's
shoulder.
I think he likes the Abolisher of Bloodlines.
See, here's the thing. If it's a better like horror, it's a better Eldrazi horror than it is a vampire.
But what do you say?
I will actually agree it should go above Abolisher.
I disagree. But again, it's 2-1.
This is why we needed an odd number of people. All right, next up we have Bleak Coven Vampires from Mirrodin. It is a
It's
4.
Scars over Mirrodin.
Is it Scars? Oh.
Scars over Mirrodin.
All right, so yeah, it's a 4/3 for 5 with Metalcraft. When Bleak Coven Vampires enter the battlefield, if you control 3 or more artifacts, target player loses 4 life, and you gain 4 life.
Well, it
I'm-
has the
I'm-
suck your blood thing, life
Yeah.
lost, life gain. That's very vampire, especially in Magic.
I'm conflicted
Artifacts-
about the Metalcraft though.
It loses points for Metalcraft. That has nothing to do with the vampire lore.
Well, I mean, it's a warrior, so like you gotta have swords, but like, I honestly don't know where to put this.
Jeff, where do you think? Because we've been kind of like, passing up on your judgment. I'm going to give this one to you. Unless you put it above Baron Sengir. In which case, get
I
out.
honestly,
So-
I want to hear Jeff's arguments so that they can like sort of
Alright.
influence mine because I
Yeah.
have no opinion on this right now.
I'm willing to hear
Okay,
what he
so
thinks.
they look like they are like jungle dwellers.
They got like the
They
Wolverine
have
claws.
that stereotypical like black lady. I work in a nail salon, 30-foot long nails. So
A long time ago.
yeah. Like, number one, how would they wipe themselves? Like, that's always had a question I've had.
Well,
Like,
they have little vampire fledglings do the wiping for them.
all right, so they don't look like vampires. Number one, they look like they haven't had a manicure in 30 years.
They look dirty.
But they act like vampires. They're running really fast, and they're all about blood sucking. The whole lose life, gain life thing.
So they get points, they lose points.
So I'm gonna again put them. I'm gonna say they're gonna be above Barony Vampire. Because they're acting like vampires. They may not look like it, but they're acting
They
like
do
it.
have a very flavorful vampire effect.
That it requires artifacts.
Other than that, it requires artifacts. Also, they look bloodthirsty.
They do. They look
They
like
look
they
like
hunt.
they're
They're on the
out for
hunt.
they're out for some good old, some of that good the high shelf blood.
That oneg. They on the hunt for that oneg.
I'm down for it. We told Jeff we were gonna give him the point because we've been kind of like
Well, you said that, but
I
I kind of agree with him though.
I agree too, and it's 2-1.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes we gotta give one to Jeff.
All right, next up on the hit parade.
Should we save just in case something happens?
We'll save every like 50.
Oh, okay. That's
Blood
we have a
Artist.
Oh, very
Okay.
popular card.
Yeah, we have an 0/1 for 2. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
that's right there. Just saying. Oh, look. Okay, vampire.
Life lost, life gained, very vampire.
Like Naked Woman?
Can I also say, yeah, very. The art is very Victorian, which
Blood.
That's a big plus. And the other thing too, can I just say, he's painting a picture out of blood,
And it's a picture of a naked woman.
and somehow that translates into this power of like sucking the life out of other people and other creatures.
well, he needs
That's-
to get his blood from somewhere, so he's sucking the blood out of everyone to like make his paints and shit.
I mean, like, that's one interpretation. Great art can never be created without great suffering.
Yeah, so he's literally just like...
He's taking their blood and he's painting with it.
I think that's going to jump him to the 2 or 3.
Yeah, what I think is I like to think that like each painting he makes is like the person whose blood he sucked.
Yeah.
And look, she looks like she's dead. It looks like she was knocked out. She's on the floor.
Yeah,
down.
it's like he's painting her dead body.
Like this
He's
is
like, this is the last time you were seen. This guy has killed.
a lot.
I'm going to put him in 2 or 3.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Look in the fucking background. It's her.
What?
Oh fuck. Oh man.
Dude, that's...
Oh. That's so...
How do you... Wait. What do you see?
That's the fucking body.
She's like her
Yo,
feet and she...
That is so... I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm gonna have nightmares now.
How are you seeing that as her?
That's
Dude,
her.
flip
She's
her
hanging
upside
upside
down.
down. That's her hair, her arms. Those are her legs. She's wearing a white dress.
I mean, it could be her. It could be just another victim.
Totally.
No, that's... they're
100%.
trying to paint you a whole picture.
Okay, I want to say...
Above Asylum Visitor.
Definitely above Silent Visitor. Now is where we get into the real meat and
This is where we have to,
potatoes of it.
like...
Yeah,
Can't
because
be-
look, he's collecting the blood, like, right there. Like, her hair is
Alright.
acting as a paintbrush. Johannes Vez, good
2.
on you.
2 spot. If we're the thing is though, this is all blood related. That's what vampires revolve around.
And like
that
eating
is-
dudes.
Anawan
I think-
just said you die because you're not a vampire. He didn't even mention blood. He has nothing blood related other than
This
you die.
guy is all... He
So-
loves blood like I love Arizona iced tea. I'm putting him in the 2 spot.
I'm there, man. Like, the flavor is so... Like, you pointing that out to me? Like, that completely changed my perspective.
It's really very vampire, but it's not the most vampire. That's what's holding me back. It's like, yeah, he paints with, the blood of his victims and everything.
Yeah, like,
but, like
if it
that could
also
be
said,
just like
like,
a Saturday Night Murderer, though,
Yeah, if it also said, like, put a 1-1 counter on him. Like, I'd be immediately sold.
He would, that would put him above. But for
Immediately
now,
sold.
I would say he's just above Anawan the Ruined Sage.
Blood Baron. It is a 2/2 for 3, creature vampire. Sacrifice another creature. Blood Baron gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
That screams vampire.
Very vampire.
It's only until end of turn, though.
I mean, that doesn't really hurt it too much. It's more of like, just like, oh, I was hungry and now I'm not. So I would say it's at the halfway point, maybe a little bit higher than halfway point.
I want to
She doesn't look like a vampire other than the fact that she's eating and she's covered in blood.
She's got white skin.
I want to say below Anawan, but above Asylum.
I think I would put it above Asylum.
Yeah, no, definitely above Asylum, but I'm still saying above Anawan. Remember, Anawan has nothing to do with blood.
But, like, also, he just goes and eats people.
What? She's literally eating it in her...
But you have to eat your own people, though. He eats
okay,
other people.
okay, I'll put it this way. This is going to kind of settle it, right? I'll put her above Asylum Visitor. We'll say that.
Yeah, okay, so where I said.
I think... Okay.
Alright.
I think we were on that. She doesn't look experienced.
How about this? Vampires
looks like-
have to be
she
like
looks-
a wine. They need to be aged properly.
She's the Claudia of vampires.
Claudia?
Anne Rice. Look it up.
Alright.
Blood Baron of Viscopa.
Alright,
Sounds
we
like a
have
wine.
a 4/4 for 3 white black. It's our
Looks-
first white vampire.
Looks nothing like a vampire.
Well, hold on. We have lifelink, which is, I feel, a very important quality for vampires to have.
Very vampire.
Protection from white and from black.
The good end
And
in life.
as long as you have 30 or more life, and an opponent has 10 or less life, Blood Baron of Viscapa gets +6/+6 and has flying.
The artwork gives it no points.
Yeah, the art gets literally no points.
No points for artwork.
Mr. Anthony Palumbo, I'm looking at you, dude. And
However...
you fell short on this
the
one.
name, I gotta say, the Blood Baron of Viscopa, that gives it some points.
He is a Blood Baron, dude.
Lifelink is good. Protection from white and black, it's almost like it has protection from other vampires. And the fact that this is what really gives it any points at all, in my opinion, is as long as you have 30 more life and an opponent has 10 or less life, which means if you fucking life-linked them enough, he gets so fucking strong he's a 10-10.
And flies.
And fly. And
Like,
fly.
this is the killing blow vampire.
This is the vampire that has lived for centuries.
I was going to say, this feels like it's the vampire. He's been around for so much shit, he's just tired of it. He's just like, I don't, fuck you, fuck you.
He's been alive for so many lifetimes that he's now a 10-10 and just
And he
just
doesn't,
wrecks.
again, protection from white and
10-10.
black.
That kills like 90% of the creatures in the game. Maybe 95.
And only for 4 mana,
Maybe
5
98.
mana.
10-10. He becomes like...
and pro white and pro black. That's
Yeah,
a solid
that's
40%. 40% of all the cards in the game he is protected from.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we want to start Blood Baron of
It's
this?
so
book?
hard. We've turned over a couple of really
I'm
ill
gonna-
vampires.
I'm gonna say it. I want to start him. As much as it pains me to say it, I want to start him above Anawan Ruin Sage.
I agree with that. I agree with it so much I might want to put him at number 1. Despite his artwork. The effect is so like, how could we best represent a vampire? Oh, I know. It drains you of your life force until it's fucking ginormous.
Well, not and until he's just like he's fed up with your shit, so he's just gonna like he's tired of keeping you as his captive, and so he just goes and just like chomps you in one fell swoop, drains all of you.
He sucks blood until he's just swole as fuck.
I'm going to say above Anawan, but below Blood Artist.
Blood Artist again. He's very
Again,
playable.
he's just an artist. Though.
He's just.
But he's a killing artist.
He's just a Saturday
But yeah,
night
like
murderer.
I could do that though. If I really wanted to, I could go out, find a prostitute, kill her, and make a picture of that.
Down there, Dexter.
But like, but that doesn't make me a vampire.
I didn't register that until he finished the sentence, but that's kind of okay.
Like it's super fucked up. I'm not going to
yeah.
say it, but it doesn't make me a vampire.
You know,
it makes me a
he
psychopath.
does. He gains point. If he had different artwork, he would be at the top.
Yes,
He
I
doesn't
agree.
though. He has shitty artwork, so he goes
below
Blood
Baron
Artist.
Sengir.
I'm fighting this one. I do not think he belongs above Blood Artist. I really want to fight
think
this.
He does.
It's hard to say who's more vampire-like, but as far as who's more badass,
How about this? If it makes it even worse, this guy has to wait. Blood Artist doesn't care about
that's
that.
the thing.
Blood Artist doesn't have-
Vampires are about the long game.
Yeah.
They're eternal. They are immortal. This guy is immortal. He has protection from white and black. He has lifelink. He waits till you have 10 or less life and you've drunken all the blood, and then he's like, yes, I will end you, mortal.
Also, in terms of strength, just raw strength, Blood Artist is an 0-1. This guy's a 4-4. This guy walks up to Blood Artist, kicks him in the dick, and then drains his blood.
Yeah.
And he's protected from Blood Artist.
He's protected from Blood Artist. I have to put him above. He has protection from Blood Artist.
I still disagree.
If it was different art, he would be number 1. So
I agree with that.
No, I know. I'm just
But
saying.
the thing is that even his effect is not strong enough to be better than Blood Artist as
I-
a whole.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Lifelink means that when it deals damage, you gain that much life. Blood Artist says that like if a creature dies, they lose 1, you gain 1. This guy hits you and you lose 4. You gain 4. That's 4 Blood Artists.
Kinda, yeah, and he doesn't even have to kill anybody.
He doesn't even have to. He just drains you of your life.
just goes
force
straight to your
and leaves you
face.
for dead.
Yeah, better than Blood Artist.
Goodbye, Blood Artist.
Next, Blood Host. It is a 3/3 for 5. For 1 in the black, you may sacrifice another creature and put a 1/1 counter on Blood Host, and you gain 2 life. This is strong.
The flavor is strong.
This
with
is some
one.
strong
And
ass flavor.
let's jump in there with the flavor text too. It would be ill-mannered to decline his invitation. It would be ill-advised to accept it. Ooh! Oh, this is the total cliche of like, you know, the
old-
host that ends up being a vampire.
Like
You
this
know,
is like
the twist.
the distilled essence of like old school Victorian
Yeah.
vampire. Like he even got like the nice dress code on for dinner. Like
This
this is strong. I'm
Straight off, you can't go any higher than Blood Baron.
Blood Baron, you think?
You can't. Blood Baron.
Why can't we go higher than Blood Baron?
Because Blood Baron sacrificed a creature, didn't cost mana, and was only +2 +2.
The cost of
Until
mana,
end of turn. This is a +1/+1 counter. He sticks around.
the cost of mana, I don't worry about. Like, I'm not really looking too much at mana cost because I'm looking more at like the flavor of it. Like, what is it doing for you?
But like we also do have to consider a little bit.
A little bit.
Like how I.
He's not wrong for mentioning it, but
right. But like remember, Blood Baron was +2/+2 until end of turn. This is a +1/+1 counter. That counter stays.
I'm gonna introduce this other thing that we should really consider when we're judging these cards.
Okay, I'm open to it.
If you show just the artwork to a person on the street, would they get it? Would they be like, yes, that's a vampire, cool? You know, a lot of these cards, we're pushing it up the list because of all the other things. But the thing that should be our primary factor is the art.
Well, yeah, of course, art is the
I think that we pushed a couple of these up here that technically have weaker art than this guy. This guy doesn't have like the most amazing art ever, but his art says in a stroke he's a vampire.
Well, I think the art should be like sort of the springboard. Like if you can recognize it as a vampire from just the art, it's at least an okay vampire, and then from there on we can delve into sort of the mechanics and stuff.
That's one way of
Which
looking at it.
Sort of pains me because we're gonna get to some in a little bit that I think are personally amazing vampires that just flat out don't meet that criteria.
Yeah.
So it kind of pains me to say that, but I'll make an argument later on that, who knows, it might fall flat on its face, but I think Blood Host...
Blood Baron had blood all over her face. It makes her look a little bit more like a zombie than a vampire.
And yeah, he's got like that like distinct
You
little
might
dribble.
actually almost think that Blood Baron's a zombie over a vampire, like if you didn't know better.
Like I'm saying, he got like that distinct like little dribble out the side of his mouth.
So then I'll say this, because you're getting life from sacrificing someone, one higher than Blood Baron, but not better than Anawan. That's
I'm okay with that.
I agree with that, Jeff.
Yes.
I agree with that. We are unanimous in our decision. Blood Host is not better than Anawan Ruin Sage, but is in fact better than Blood Baron.
It's the Blood Host with the most.
Alright, next up.
Next up on our list, Blood Seeker.
Blood Seeker. Ooh, this is It's a 1/1 for 2. It's a vampire shaman, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may have that player lose 1 life. A drop is all he needs to find you later.
Looks more like Avatar.
I'm not sold on this.
This is like the class of vampires that I put very low on the list.
Like this is like in the class that I disagreed with you with as a class, but in this specific example, I'm 100% with you.
And also it says, "Oh, you showed up, you lose a life."
Yeah, it's not translating for me. It's like, how does that have anything to do with being a vampire? So let's put him low.
All right,
I'd say
let's start from the bottom and work our way up.
I'm gonna say,
is he better than Arrogant Bloodlord?
Yes, but not Evankar. I think it stops right there.
I'm trying to remember Arrogant Bloodlord.
Arrogant Bloodlord was the 4/4 that can't fight 1/1s.
That guy was an ant rider.
Yes, he rode an ant.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna say just right there at the very bottom, above Bloodlord.
I think that is as far as he gets.
I want to say he's better than Avinkar because Avinkar was an ogre.
Yeah,
but at least he could fly.
At least had flying and had vampire-like effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
He may not look like one. He acts like one.
He acts like he's
the redheaded stepchild of vampires.
Look,
there we go.
Big guys can be vampires too.
Okay, I don't want to. Blood Tyrant is a 5/5 for 7 with flying and trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player loses a life. Put a +1/+1 counter on Blood Tyrant for each 1 life lost this way. Whenever a player loses the game, put 5 1/1 counters on Blood Tyrant.
So
a commander card for Grixis.
Okay.
Flying and trample is pretty good.
Upkeep is your standby phase?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the turn. Yeah.
And this is very obviously a vampire. It is our first blue vampire and is our first red vampire.
It is our first red and blue vampire.
So he basically gets 5 individual +1/+1, so basically a +5.
Yeah. He flies, first off. Trample is irrelevant.
I mean, he gets the trample from the red part.
I know where it comes from. I'm saying it's irrelevant to the fact that he's a vampire. But at the beginning of your turn, each player loses life, including yourself. He even drains his master of life.
That's very vampy.
And he gets stronger for it. And then when a player dies, when he's drained so much that you die, he unlocks new strength.
Okay.
That's pretty fucking badass. And
So,
and the art, he looks okay. My lore of this, like what I envision, is that this is a vampire that has outlived the human race. He has sucked the blood of all fucking life.
Guess
so
what?
he's so powerful, and there's just nothing left of the world.
I'm gonna say it.
What are you gonna say?
Baron Sengir's number 2.
You're gonna go straight to number 1.
I would actually be in favor of going to number 1. Too.
I
think the number 1
Remember,
is gonna shift a
the
little
only
bit.
thing that Sengir did not have was looking like a vampire. This guy acts and
This
looks.
guy is like Super Sengir.
Super Sengir 2.
Oh, here we go. How about this? How about this? How about this? I have to run to the bathroom, but my vote is in. That's on step 1
That's
for
your
that.
vote.
My vote is step 1. You can dispute Anthony.
I have to second that. He is everything that the other ones were. The fact that he's blue and red as well is just more like... okay, one of my favorite things about the Anne Rice vampires, and this is like where like my best vampire lore comes from, is that like the longer a vampire is alive and the more lives it's taken, the stronger it gets.
Yes.
And to the point where they don't even need to eat anymore. They don't need to feed.
Well,
which is like scary. Like a vampire that doesn't even need to feed. It's just...
Fun fact. I read a short story years and years ago. I used to have a big thick book of just like random horror short stories, and one of them was about a vampire who got himself put in like cryo sleep for like 1,000 years or something, and he wakes up and his friend is the guy who wakes him up, and he's like, "Hey man, you know what happened?" He goes, "We've taken over the world. Everyone is a vampire now." He's like, "Sweet, everyone's a vampire." He goes, "Yeah, we have to feed off of each other now. And the problem is that we feed off of each other, our blood becomes more and more corrupted. But you, my friend, you haven't fed off of any vampires yet."
Oh my god.
So, like,
His friend eats him?
that's the implications. Like, the story ends after that line. But the whole thing is, like, you have to eat. There's none of this getting so strong, I don't gotta eat. Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man, he's still gotta eat. Like, as a vampire, you still gotta eat.
That's the Anne Rice lore, is like, you know, when you're... It's not so much how much... It's the fact that you've just been alive for so long that your powers have developed and that you've become more and more efficient.
I feel that, but, like, you gotta eat!
I know, you gotta eat. And he does. He fucking eats. But I'm saying, the point is that he's been alive for so long and he's gotten so strong from his powers developing that he's unlocked different colors of fucking power.
Like,
he has trample and he has...
Like, I accidentally just sort of defeated my own argument here, where he's like, if you're going in, like, he's in this post-apocalyptic hellscape, and he's that strong, look at this fucker flying around. Like, he's looking for new food to eat that he hasn't eaten already.
This guy is a killing machine. I gotta put him at the top. Baron Sengir was up there for similar reasons, but this guy beats Baron Sengir.
Fuck it.